my name is Gabe Zona. Some interesting statistics. In Chicago in 2011, nearly 700 children were hit by gunfire. That's 700 children. That's on average 2 per day, out of which 66 died. Even though the number of homicides fell last year, they still ended up with that number of children. Now, we're not talking about the adults, we're just talking about the children. How come we didn't see any of Obama's, we're talking 700 hit, 66 killed. That's just in Chicago. I'm not talking about the state, I'm talking about Chicago. So where's, these tears? It's insane. You can't prevent gun-crazy people from killing other people. It's that simple. Chicago is also known for producing some top-quality people, like Barack Obama. Jesse Jackson, he came from Chicago. So did his son. His son's also a winner. Louis Farrakhan, now he is a wonderful specimen of a human being, isn't he? Louis Farrakhan. How about Rob Blagojevich? Huh? Oh yeah, he's in prison in, where? In Colorado. And then you got Rahm Emanuel. Well, Rahm, he's the guy that came up with that famous saying, never ever waste a good crisis. Yeah. Now, what you also have to know about Rahm is that he really should never have been made mayor. And the reason that is he didn't qualify according to their rules. But hey, what are rules if they're not meant to be bent or broken, right? See, Rahm didn't live in Chicago for a year prior to the election because he was playing, what Obama is in Washington. He was like the chief of staff. So, although he didn't live there and he didn't qualify, guess who's mayor of Chicago? Well, yeah, see, that's the Chicago way. It's not a big deal. What's also interesting is that Illinois, it has one of the toughest gun laws in the country. Well, it's not as good as the ones in D.C. No, the ones in D.C. in the District of Columbia, well, the District of Columbia, that's killer, that's really, really killer. Isn't that the same state that anchor held up a magazine? He said, this is like a magazine that holds like 30 rounds. And in that state, guess what? To do that, to even own one, to have possession, even if you don't own it, just possessing it, maximum of up to 10 years in the joint. That's 10 years. Well, I don't think anything's going to happen to him. He might get one of these slaps on the wrist. But if you did it or I did it, boom, we're gone. We're gone. The fact is, gun control doesn't work. The only one that it works against is law-abiding citizens. Those are the ones that you can control. You can't control the bad guys. And what happens is, when the bad guys have guns and the good guys don't have guns, well, more good guys lose their lives. Yeah, they do. What's also interesting? All of these politicians that don't want you or me to have guns, guess what? They all have full-time 7/24 protection. And those guys that protect them, they got guns. I bet you that the guys that protect Obama, they don't just have semi-automatics. No, they got fully automatics. That's what they have. They got special ones, they hide them there, they hide them there, but that's what they have. Yeah, but you see, his life is worth more than your life. I don't think anybody's life's worth more than my life. I don't. Because we only all have one life. So why is it that the politicians can determine as to whose life is worth protecting and whose isn't? What's also interesting, and I've said this many, many times, statistically, states that are controlled by Democratic governors, guess what they also have? They have the highest crime rate, and they have the highest murder rate. And they truly do. It's insane. And most of those states are on the East Coast. Well, we got down California, but other than California, most of them are on the East Coast. And they have the highest murder rates. Now, how can that be? How can that be? It doesn't make any sense. You got all these incredible restrictions. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't own this, you can't own that. Yet they have the highest gun-related murders. I don't understand it. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Or does it? The problem is we have politicians like Bloomberg. They stick their noses in things they shouldn't stick their noses in. And in most cases, none of these people even know what they're talking about. They're clueless. They are totally clueless. But they like to pretend. No, they don't pretend. They like to take power over the people. They exert control. You can't do this, and you can't do that. But guess what? I can. Hey, like Nancy Pelosi, you know, she made millions of dollars investing in Visa stock when she found out that they're going to be providing more money to the banks, you know? And what about even the speaker? What did he do? John Boehner, well, he made like, I don't know, 2.8 million. I think it was like 2.8 million on healthcare stock. Yeah. He got like an inside tip. A little birdie came along and told him, you know? Like a little birdie came along and told Nancy. But you see, for them, it's legal. Now, you see, for them, they can do insider trading. Hey, psst, psst, invest in Visa. Psst, invest in healthcare. Psst. We can't do that. Because if we do that, we go to prison. They make the laws. Isn't that incredible? Hey, Nancy, remember what you said? You said you are going to look at changing the law so you guys can't do insider trading. What was that, about 8 months ago? I know, you guys are so busy investigating Benghazi, huh? Now, actually, Benghazi should be investigated, but what this administration does is they divert, they distract to deceive. That's all they do. And that's what they continue to do. So what do we need to do? We need to put an end to it. We need to have an honest federal judge demand that Obama release his documents, including whatever they have in that vault in Hawaii, which I don't think is anything, you know? But anyway, whatever they have has to be made public, as does all of his records at Harvard. And as does all of his records at Occidental. We also need to get a copy of the birth certificate that he used at the time to attend. Because, you know, the only one that he could have used was an Indonesian one. And you know why? Because he traveled to Pakistan in 1980 when you couldn't travel on an American passport. So, when you put all the pieces of the puzzle, what do you get? You get someone that should be tried for treason. That's what you get. Hopefully that will soon happen. God bless America and God protect America, because nobody else seems to want to at this point.